Morning, everyone. 3 days, I know, terrible, terrible. Hello, Egbert. Hello, Katie. I'm also sitting here thinking, gosh, as well, Katie, because normally you tell me that you don't know my streams are running until about 2 hours after I've been streaming. So you're suddenly getting notifications literally as I start. That is a gosh as well. Gosh, I can hear myself talk. Okay, right. Anyway, if there's any mic noise, sorry about that. Can't really help it. Any weird humming sounds or whatever. Hopefully, you'll probably hear it a bit more now. You had a phone in your hand, which probably helped. Oh. Okay, anyway, so just back on TSW6. I was just intrigued yesterday. We were doing that freight scenario and we got stuck outside Gatwick for ages. I thought, I wonder how what happens when the AI drives it. So I've decided to go to Wivelsfield and hang around and wait for the freight train to turn up just so I can jump on it. See. And then I was also going to jump on some other trains as well. It wasn't just a freight train, it was like jump off at a station and drive another train or something. Just generally just spend a couple of hours just messing about, really. Well, not messing about, but you know. Hopefully that error won't come up today either. I've got real weather on. Well, the real weather mod. So the weather should more or less be kind of like what it is, although the weather mod doesn't do wind included, unfortunately. But hey, it's free, so can't complain too much. And I think it's a DTG thing that it doesn't do. Because do with the API that the mod uses. Wind is apparently is not part of it. Right. We can get all the other information about what the sky is and the clouds and if it's raining or not, but it just doesn't get the wind info. Although I can use God mode for that. Always put weather in my God mode. Now I'm on your laptop. Okay, that's nice. Bit of an upgrade. Good, good. Right, I'm just going to go into the sim and hopefully it's going to show up. It might not. Like that. Right, hang on. On that one. There we go. Right. There we have it. Right, let's get in and start playing about then. No. Add a little bit of wind in here. Does everything else, just not the wind, right? So I'm just going to put the out here. I've no idea what that is, but let's have some wind anyway. Right, so I'm at Wivelsfield, and I'm just literally hanging around waiting for this freight train to turn up. About this time you started the service, so it's got to come in from somewhere. I'm looking south there. Why do I be on the other side? You know, one thing that I find crazy about this route is very old now, and there was one bug on it that I noticed, one of many that still never got fixed. For example, I'm on the platform that heads down to Brighton, and yet the destination's all to the other platform, and they never changed that. So you want to know if you're standing here waiting for a train to Brighton and you want to know what time it's coming, well, over there on the other side. Where was the stairs? Maybe I was here already. Oh, I was actually standing at the stairs. That's what I was doing before I started. Put my headphones on because I can't hear no sounds. The two Stixes games are free on Epic. I don't know what they are. Stix games. Good fun if you like sneaking around type game. Oh. I have to have a look at them, see what they're about. I don't think I've ever heard of them. Right, let's see if this freight train turns up, and then I'm going to jump in the cab and sit in the seat next to him. I just want to see how he drives the train and what happens when he gets to Gatwick. Does he hold up trains like I did? Don't feed the birds. Yeah, that's not good. Fed them in the garden. It's like Assassin's Creed games. Oh, are they set in modern times though, Katie, or are they set in medieval times? 'Cause I tend to like games that are more set in modern times. Hence why I kind of like the Watch Dogs in London kind of set things. It's games where you're running around and everybody's dressed in like medieval. Bothered. Oh, yeah, not my thing then. Not me thing. Let's just hope this freight train turns up. One thing I wish that you could do in the game now is you could actually sit down on a seat. Wish you could just hover over a seat like you can on the train and just say sit down. Then if you can sit yourself down, then you can put spotter cam on instead of me having to put a shunter in a siding somewhere to do it. Get what I mean? See, look, I'm on the other platform now, which is heading towards London, and now I'm getting all the signage for what trains are going that are going onto the platform opposite. And even though it's been mentioned a few times, they've never bothered to change it. I think there's a couple of stations on the route that are like that. I think.
May I have your attention, please?
Oh.
Closed circuit television and remote video monitoring is in use at this station for your personal safety and security.
Yeah, they're watching you. Watching what you're doing. Your own personal safety. And your security. And then when you have your bike stolen on the platform, they say, oh, sorry, we can't really help you with that. You think, well, you got CCTV, ain't you? Oh, no. Yeah, anyway. DK Wibble. We aren't going to check the map to see if it's moving. Well, I mean, you could do that in real life, though, Egbert, if you think about it. If you had the real-time trains app on your phone, you could actually look it up, couldn't you, to see if a train was on a map moving, see where it was. So, if I looked on the map, it's not no different to what you could do in real life, in a way. I mean, that's how train spotters know when there's going to be a special movement coming through their station, because they can see it and know about it, don't they, in advance. But yeah, I know what you mean, though. I just know it was supposed to come about this time. The only time I'm going to look on the map, Egbert, is if suddenly like all the trains seem to be stuck at signals, and then I'll look at the map to see which train is causing the issue and delete it, if that happens. But yeah, I know what you mean. Wow, we've got them in chat today, haven't we? We've got these Keeping It Real brigade in. Next I'll be told I'm walking too fast, and why can't I see my legs? Where's my feet gone? And if you could see my feet and my clothes, you'd be then complaining that I've been wearing the same clothes every time I've streamed, and that I need to change my clothes because it's disgusting. How are Eggy and CK today? I'm alright. I'm alright.
This is a safety announcement. It is not permitted to cycle, skateboard, or rollerblade within the station building.
We can't anyway, love. I mean, I can't get on a bicycle in the game. I can't get on roller skates in the game. I can't get on a skateboard in the game. It's not like I can find a skateboard hidden in the trees over there and I can just suddenly use it to ride around on the train, on the platform with, is it? I'm just curious how you were going to play. Can't tell if you have your yellow cords on or not. No, exactly. My safety cords. No, I can't pull them today. It's not like the avatar in MSFS 2024, is it? Where I can look down and see my little legs. Nah, that's all I'm going to do, Egbert. I just wanted to spawn here because this freight train, if I remember, I started the service here at about this time, more or less. So I was just gonna hang around, wait for it, because I've got a feeling if it does show up, it's gonna stop here anyway, and then I could just get on it, sit as the co-passenger in the driver's cabin, and I was just gonna see how it drove or what time it got to Gatwick to see if it held up them trains like I did, and then go from there really. You're going to fly? Well, you always do that though, can you? Do a really long flight, 3 hours, and then you know that you can not have to do much for 3 hours. Just apart from your electricity going down, like it does. So in a way, just think about it. If you're doing a 4-hour flight on your PC, and you're thinking, well, I'm not burning real world fuel, but in a way you are, because you're using electricity, which is then burning something in a power station for it to be able to you use it in your PC. I'm being very philosophical today. My next job is short, Dresden to Trieste. That sounds a bit like something you do in Train Simulator, isn't it? I mean, when you say Dresden, I think of a German route. Now, I know that Trieste is in Italy.
Operation at this station. Please have your ticket ready for inspection.
I ain't got a ticket, love, because I can't get any tickets in the game. I can look at other people's tickets when I'm conductor mode, but I can't actually have a ticket. So, yeah. Hey, D Kent Flyer, or DK. I always get worried when Carter's streaming and I might be lurking in the background, and then I hear him say, "Hi there, DK." Like thinking, "Oh my God, it sounds just like CK. Is he calling me out there?" And then I realise it's you. Right, Rivelsfield. We're just waiting for a freight train, hopefully, DK. I'm just in a larking about kind of mood on here today, so I'll literally just be jumping off trains and going on to other trains. Yeah, DK and CK, yeah. But if I'm a few meters away from the screen when he's talking, and he says, "Hi, DK," and I'm like thinking, "Oh my God, you talking to me?" I realise it's you. Yeah, he's got me like that. I thought he was talking about you, but he's saying DK. Yeah. DK and CK. I don't know when this train. Well, I don't know. I might be about 5 or 10 minutes early. I want to look on the map, but I've been told off for it. Although, to be honest, it literally comes in from the junction up here anyway, so it'll probably just spawn in. So it probably won't even show up on the map anyway, because the track only goes so far that way, and then it'll disappear. So that's looking towards Burgess Hill Station. Where in Kent are you? Who knows? Looks like a lot of people are waiting for the freight train this morning. You'd never tell me off. Is that you whistling now that you've just said that? I think that's the nearest we probably have to Egbert in the game, isn't it? Don't you reckon? That's the nearest to Egbert we have here. Oh no, I've fallen onto the track. Help. Unless you blamed the steam loco, then I'd be upset. Eggy prefers to be told off rather than giving tell-offs. No, it's only because, like we said, we wouldn't look at the map. Just don't want to have a stream where I'd stand here for an hour and everyone's going, CK did a stream today and all he did was stand at a platform for an hour. And all these trains come through and he didn't get on them. Maybe it comes earlier when it's AI. Quite a few viewers that are from Kent, isn't there? I think what's his face would be Kent, wouldn't name? The old guy that used to work on the railways, Len. I think he was from either from East London or South East London or Kent, isn't it? And then obviously there was Red Mozzie, be a signalman on, I think it was like Sandwich around there, wasn't it? Signal box, he used to be a signalman. Red Mozzie, another one. Oh, Katie, I noticed that the A340 was out now on the INI manager. Must have been released late last night or something. Apparently, there's a new version, isn't there? A VIP version. I think that means a plane, doesn't it? I mean, a VIP version of a plane, in like a private jet version. Rather than you have to give us 100 quid and then you can have a VIP version. Oh, here comes a 700. It's stopping here though. Probably not. Like Lisa was driving that one. Oh, look, there's another one stopping over there as well. Marvellous. It's cheaper. Is it? I don't even know how much it is. How much was it on Marketplace? And I thought it was only like... Alright. I suppose that's not bad, because how many models of it do you get? You get the 300 version, don't you? Then you get, what, the freighter version, and then you get a VIP version. You get 3 different models. Like variants or whatever. I do like this timetable. This is a modded timetable that's been out for absolutely ages now. It includes the 700 in it. So if you have the 700 and you want to drive it on Brighton Line and you don't want to just do it in free roam, get this timetable. As long as you're on the PC, mind. You've got to have the PC. Can't use it on console. Fortunately. Yeah, 53 quid sounds a lot. Although, no, I'm waiting for 600 to come out. The PMGG 737 600 variant for 2024. Because I've got the 700 as well, but I hardly ever fly that, so I'm not really bothered about that one. The 800 I like, and the 600. So. And the 600 was really cheap anyway, compared to the others. So if they're going to do this upgrade price thing, it'll probably only be about a 5-6 quid. Upgrade it. They're doing whatever. I think it's just the basic A340, you know, the old one with the CFMs. The 300. Might be the two. They might have the 200 and the 300, which are basically almost the same. I think the 300 was slightly longer though. And then Aerosoft are doing the 500 and 600, but they're working with Tollis, who do Airbus stuff for X-Plane. So the systems that'll be done by Tollis. So, and the modelling is done by Aerosoft. So it should be quite a good combo. On paper, whether or not it works out well, comes out as another matter. But well, still no sign of this train yet, and it's past. I thought it was about past when I started it yesterday. Of course, I'd love to tell you what time the next train is that's due in on this platform, but well, I could tell you anyway, I suppose. It's due in at 12:36. There we go. I have to look over on the other platform to know what train's coming in on this platform. Oh, got stuck. That might be just because it's stuck behind the other one. 12:39 is the next train that's coming in on that side. The right day. Yeah, it's the same every day, Egbert. You do get some. There is a couple of routes now that you get for Train Sim World which have a separate Sunday timetable. I think the ATS route from Manchester did that. So if you wanted to do a specific Sunday timetable, you could choose a Sunday timetable, and then if you chose the other one, it was literally the same from Monday to Saturday. But other than that, they more or less run, although some timetables also add things during the year, so depending on what month you choose on the calendar, some extra services appear. Like, so for Blackpool route, Just Trains, you get a lot more summer charters in the summer months. Or you get a lot more in the autumn months. You might get some of those trains that clear the leaves up. The railhead treatment trains, you get a lot more of those running if you choose like October and September and November as your months and stuff, and more of those show up. So yeah, it should be due about now, because I was thinking that if the next train isn't due in until 36, and I do remember that when you drive it, go through Haywards Heath, and then you sit outside a signal, and then you have to wait for a fast train to come through, which could be the one that's stopping here at 36, perhaps. I don't know. Although the 36 could also be the one that's coming up from Eastbourne. Anyway. Waiting in anticipation, really. Where is this freight train? I might have to get a drink or something. My throat's starting to get sore. But I won't get a drink until I'm on the freight train, because I don't want to get a drink now and then the freight train to stop and then I'm AFK and then everyone's like, oh my God. Yeah, exactly. I'd have to run after it and try and jump onto it, like you do in GTA or something.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is prohibited at all stations and on all train services. This includes e-cigarettes.
Oh dear. I think they've all gathered to watch the freight train, I think. It's been cancelled. Driver hasn't turned up for work yet. Yeah, a random event. Yeah. Well, he won't be going just yet. He'll have to... Hopefully he's just sitting at a signal round the corner there. Although the other train's going to be here in a minute, the 36. Oh, dear. I love them flickering textures over there. You want a cuppa and some brekkie, but you're too scared to move. Well, you're alright if you move, innit? At least it's not raining. No, no, not at the minute. It has been raining on and off, though. No, it's not raining here. Don't want to miss you missing it. Oh, I know.
Is a safety announcement. It is not permitted to cycle, skateboard, or
Oh,
rollerblade within
here it
the
is.
central
Well, this
area.
isn't it. So obviously the freight train must be behind this one then. This is the service from Eastbourne popping in. Alright, so it'll be... in theory, it should be behind this one then. Oh, 472. Well, that's a very busy train, look. Loads of people on there this morning. Let's see if they get on the train. If they all get on it, or are they going to be like thinking that I'm driving it? No, they don't want to get on. Passengers are definitely broke on this route, aren't they? Now watch nobody get on. I know. Well, this route's bad for that. Right. Gonna get on then? No. Driver rep. Hey, Tepic. I'm just waiting for this freight train to turn up because I wanted to just travel on it as a in the other seat just to see how the behaviour was with the AI when it got to Gatwick. See if the see if all those trains got stuck. So immersive braking. I know it is, isn't it? Maybe they're not allowed to travel on Southern Train. Maybe they've got one of those Thameslink only tickets. You know, your ticket is valid only for Thameslink services. Tepic's still in. Tepic's still in Weatherspoons having his coffee. He's been in there all night. He hasn't left. He hasn't gone yet. He's still in his spoons. Fell asleep on all the caffeine. Seeing your mother later. Oh.
Security personnel tour this station 24 hours a day.
I don't know where this freight train is. It hasn't showed up yet. Katie says the driver's not turned up to work today, so that's why it's not here. When's the next train due on this platform then? 40. Okay, that's going to Bedford. Yeah, and I do have to keep looking over there to see what train times of the trains are on this platform. This one is the what train is this one? This the Oh, 12:39 going to Littlehampton. Dawn got through all the assessments, had the interview, and now has to wait to see if he got through that bit. If so, medical company. Oh, nice. Pulled a sickie, indeed, DK. I'll have to have a look back on my other stream. I want to see what time I started driving it from Wivelsfield. I thought it was about 12:30. Right, here comes the other train. Right, let's see if they get on the Thameslink service or not. Let's see if they did only have Thameslink only tickets. Probably not. It doesn't work like that in here. But they didn't even get on that train either. Is there anyone on them trains at all? Nobody is there. It's like empty coach and stocks. Yes, it is. It comes from, it's coming up from New Haven, Egbert, so it comes up. It comes from Kemah Junction. Is why I started the freight scenario on Train Sim Classic the other day. There's a junction just there, and then you've got Burgess Hill up ahead. You've got this junction here, which is Kemah Junction. All the trains that are heading towards Eastbourne and Lewis go that way, down that junction. But this one will go straight ahead because it's going to Littlehampton. That'll go down towards Hove and then cut off. Oh, I thought I said it was going to Littlehampton. Well, it can't be. Oh, Littlehampton and Orr. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. So that's the Orr section. So I saw the Littlehampton bit, so I thought that was the Littlehampton portion. But obviously, train has it labelled as Littlehampton and Orr still. Although technically at Hayward Heath it would have split, which it probably did. But destination should have said Orr then, which means it's heading toward Hastings, Eastbourne. Why it went left. That one say Littlehampton on it. Yeah, so that's the other part of that train. So the train split at Hayward Heath. The front section went Wivelsfield and then went that way, which is a bit weird because normally they have the faster section go first. But this section now is going to run all the way probably to Preston Park and then stop at Preston Park now. It might stop at Burgess Hill as well. Let's see, does it stop at... Oh, well, we can't really tell because it despawns like a range. Like when the train gets a certain range away from your player, then it appears from view. Save on frame rates and stuff. Only because in God mode you can zoom the camera really far compared to default camera zoom. Make the camera zoom out a lot more. Zoom in a lot more than normal.
Smoking is not permitted in any
Hence
part
why
of the station or on
the
trains.
weird things like the
This
trains.
includes e-cigarettes.
Points haven't changed. Very well spotted. You're gonna make me look on the map. Yeah, but that also could be a LOD thing, Egbert, because there is a LOD thing where from a certain distance away. I don't know. Anyway, if it doesn't turn up by 1 o'clock, I'm probably just going to jump on the next train that's going anywhere and drive it. Not going to stand at a platform. Maybe it comes earlier than AI. Weird. But it would make sense if it come later, because then it wouldn't cause them other trains to get stuck behind it. Like I said, almost like we get there too early. Almost like we get to Gatwick too early and then we hold up all the trains behind, which normally would be in front of me. So I'm wondering if... DK streams 4 hours of waiting for train. Admit it, is stealth train spotting stream. Train spotting. No, it really isn't. It really isn't. Tempted to look on my laptop in a minute, not my laptop, my tablet, to see my streamers of VOD and see what time I started driving this service from Wivelsford. I'm sure it was about past. Why I spawned in a little bit before past, because I thought it was going to show up and I could just jump on it.
24 hours a day.
Not exactly the most exciting stream ever, this, is it? Right, the next train that's due in on this platform is the 1302. Okay, so there is quite a lot of gap now between the train stop. So, although that's only just including trains that are stopping here. There's a lot of trains that don't stop here. You know what I should do as well? I should really move down the other end of the platform, because if it does... CK waits for train. Oh, here comes another one. Right. Anyway, I'm going to walk down here because if it's going to stop anywhere, it's going to stop at the signal up here, isn't it? Is it April the 1st already? No, but if the way that the year whizzes past, it probably won't be too long before it is April the 1st, Katie. I mean, it's nearly, you know, halfway through January already. It feels like New Year's only just the other day. A few days ago. Well, it's not exactly the best place to stand, is it? But anyway. Can't really see up the track from there. Oh dear. Oh, we got a yellow. That doesn't mean much though. (1302) to Haywards Heath. Yeah, that's where it connects up. Oh, what's this coming? Here it comes. It's here. 12:47. It's showing up. It's here at last. And the thing is, it's not stopping. It's going to go through. I hope it's going to stop here. I hope it's stopping here. I might have to jump on it quick. Oh gosh. I thought we might be alright, maybe. Oh. Just sit here. Driver's left. I'm not driving it. Although maybe I should drive it. What do you think? Tell me in chat if you want me to drive the train. Because it is here a little bit later now. Or do you think I should just let the AI drive it? I think I should let the AI drive it. He's quit. Oh no, another one will spawn in because they're kind of expecting you to take the service on if you want to as a person. I drove this yesterday, but it was at a completely different time. Oh, we got a driver. Oh, we got Lisa driving with us today. We got Lisa driving. Yeah, it's because you can. I think it's supposed to just come here and then you can drive it. To a plan, even though it seems a bit balked. No, but it would make sense why it was here later because then all those trains that were stuck behind me at Gatwick, I said maybe it's because I got to Gatwick way too early. So all those trains that were stuck behind me after Three Bridges, because this train is now later, then those trains probably went in front of me, so they never got stuck behind me, if you know what I mean. Anyway. Shame I haven't got any intentions, because then I could pretend I could talk to... she could tell me all about Toby. How's Toby today? Then she'd tell me about Toby, obviously. You remember when Toby fell over a geese? Reminds me of ETS, but in opposite terms. ETS, I suppose. Oh, yes. With, yeah, I know what you mean. With the passenger that looked bored. Yes, although that didn't animate. At least this one kind of animates a little bit, moves her head. I wonder what happens if I press the engine stop button. Not a lot. Oh, I can do the horn. Go me. I'm the horn player. All right. Anyway, I'm going to travel on this train to East Croydon, and at East Croydon I'm going to drive another train, I think. Maybe drive a train from Clapham Junction. Hey, that's a point. Oh, it's still a double. I was going to say. Got a bit loud there, didn't it? Right, I think I'm just going to quickly go and grab a drink while we're whizzing along here. So I'll be right back. Oh, we're just getting to the viaduct. Okay, back now. Can you hear me okay over the sound of the train? My voice too quiet. Yes to what? My voice too quiet? Or what? Perfectly. Nope, can't hear you. Yeah. I'll just wait for someone else to come in and complain. I know someone will at some point. Not being funny, but I can't really hear your voice. The best one though is when I do a whole stream and then basically someone will say at the end, "Oh, were your train sounds muted? I didn't hear none of your train sounds." I'm like, oh, okay. That's alright. It's good. It's just so loud in here. It's really hard to work it out or not. Battery operated. No, it's because on OBS you can mute desktop audio, and I had desktop audio muted. And I was doing some scenarios with like HSTs and things, and then someone told me at the end they couldn't hear it. And I was like, oh, I've only been streaming for an hour. Nobody's told me. That was funny. Never mind. It was the quietest HST in existence. A high-speed silent train. The HSST. Right, Balcombe Tunnel. Anyway, back past Three Bridges. Shame I don't know what speed my train's going at, because I don't think the speedo works in here. Or does it? I don't think it does. See, we're doing 60, right? I could never get up to 60 when I was driving this. I could only get up to about 40. So, is that why? Is that why it's different? Because when you're not AI, there's no physics. And maybe the train's a lot quicker when it's running as AI. Hence why time is different. Exactly, Tepic. So when I'm driving it, I could only get up to like 40 because it was so heavy, and yet when the AI's driving it, it can go up to 60, no problem. You remember what time I got to Gatwick yesterday? I'd have to look it back, but remember we sat outside Gatwick for ages because there was a train and a platform that I had to wait for to leave. Didn't that go at like 32 or something? Was it like 1:32 it left or something like that? Or was it before then? Anyway, we're going to have to wait here as well, so... interesting conundrums to think about. Anyway, we've still got to wait for an empty platform here. Let's just hope. Well, if we get any errors about signals, trains past reds or whatever, I ain't bothered. I'll just do something else. Oh look, we got a yellow now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's good that the AI doesn't use the physics engine, otherwise it would really cost a lot of frames, because, you know, if the game's having to work out the physics for all the trains around you, imagine this route if it was having to work out all the physics of all the trains. Your frames on your console, PC, whatever, would be really low, because it would be... So I get why they don't do it. I mean, the same thing in TSC, isn't it? The AI doesn't really have physics much. So there we go. We're able to get through the platform this time. So we didn't have to get held up behind a train or anything. Same for Flight Sim. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I know that for Flight Sim. The AI is very, Flight Sim. But we didn't get stuck behind a train here. Looks like we might get stuck just up here though. Yeah, look, there's a 700 in the platform. There we go. We've got to wait behind this one now. But this, I think, stops at all the stops to Red Hill, so, and beyond. So we're probably going to get stuck behind this one quite a bit now. At least probably up towards Croydon, perhaps. Although we might go past it at Red Hill while it's in at Red Hill Station. We'll probably bypass this. Train about to come past. Scary place to stop. In what way, Tepic? Oh, too close to signal. Okay. Maybe the person that made this timetable was taking the physics into account because they thought, well, when the train doesn't have physics, and because it can go faster, we'll have to make the player train service start 20 minutes earlier just so that he can then get to Clapham Junction at about the same time this service would have got there. You know what I mean? I don't know. You see what I'm trying to say? Because maybe they thought, well, if the player service that you drive gets in at the same time this got into Wivelsfield, you'd get really late to Clapham Junction because you can only go to about 40 max speed, whereas this can go to 60. And maybe that's why when I'm just waiting for it and I'm not driving it, it turns up at a different time, perhaps? I don't know. Don't know. Anyway. Hello, Carter. And non-drivers. Yeah, we're not non-driving today. I was just intrigued yesterday about the this train when I drove it, about getting stuck outside Gatwick for ages. Wondered what would happen if we just let the AI drive it. So because there's no physics on the train when AI are driving it, Carter, I couldn't manage more than 40 in a lot of places, and yet this AI train, because there's no physics, can easily get up to 60. And then that affects the speed that it gets to places compared to me. So, a different experience when you Just sitting here. We're stuck behind a stopper at the moment. And we're between Gatwick and Red Hill at the minute as well. So there's a Thameslink service which is just ahead of me, which is doing all stations to Red Hill and beyond, and we're just sort of behind it at the minute. I will be driving a train at some point, but I just wanted to get this train first to see how it behaved compared to when I was driving it in regards to what happens, what events happened. Obviously, driving slower does affect things, obviously. But I just wanted to see it from a different perspective. And then I'm going to head back to Brighton. Once we get to Clapham Junction, I'll head back to Brighton, so I'll probably get a train and drive it to East Croydon, and then at East Croydon I'll change to a 700 and take that down towards Brighton or something. That's what I'm planning to do in the stream anyway, so... Yeah, it was Katie, but then I'm wondering if the person that did the timetable knew that. So because they know that this train can easily run at 60, no problem, as AI, maybe they thought that if you're not driving it, then it can come at a later time. Although I could have got on it and drove it and then obviously been mega late, but I'm talking about out when you can choose a service before, you know, you can either go into walk around mode or you can go into I'm going to choose this freight train and drive it type of scenario. So I'm wondering if the timings were different based on the fact that this train can go a lot faster when no one's driving it. So if you did want to drive it specifically, they made you get on it earlier just so that you didn't hold up too many things in the timetable when you were driving it or so. I don't know, but you can kind of see what I'm trying to say. So this gets up to 60 really easily when no one's driving it. But if someone's driving it and then the physics get turned on, you're struggling to get up to 40 because of the weight and everything, and then you just end up being later. So maybe they purposely made you drive it 20 minutes earlier just so you didn't get to Clapham really late or something. I don't know. No idea. Anyway. I think this was about 20 minutes later at Wivelsfield than it was when you could select it in the menu. There was moments though I could get the train up to 60, but going towards Gatwick, you know, you were struggling to get over 40. And then once we got to a downhill section after Gatwick, it managed to get up to 60 then, but which is the max speed of this consist anyway, is 60. What I can do though is now I'm streaming this, I can look back at my stream yesterday and I can make a note of what time we got through certain stations. So I can say, what time did I get through Red Hill yesterday? And then compare it. What time did I get to East Croydon? What time did I get to Clapham Junction? I mean, I don't know why, but... it just made me think though, yesterday. and I was stuck outside Gatwick for ages. And I was like thinking, oh, I wonder what it would be like if you were just standing at Gatwick waiting for it to go past. What time would it go past then? Right, so the 700's gone into the platform, and I'm going to be on the through line, but obviously I've still been given a red, so I'm still going to probably have to wait for the 700 to leave before I can go myself. In fact, I think the 700, is it leaving? No, it's still sitting there. But yeah, we just got to wait here now. 700 to leave again, I think. I mean, because I'm lower priority anyway, being freight, so kind of see why. Oh gosh, you couldn't get any closer, could you? I thought you were going to go through it then. Pro driver, although as Tepic says, scary. All you need is the brake to be slightly loose and for it to just roll a little bit past that signal, and then you'd be in trouble. Although I don't know what... This train's quite long though, so you probably want it quite close to the signal in a way. Wouldn't you? With the points and everything. Oh well, you can go back a little bit more though. Obviously you'd then get affected by... Though saying that, there's a signal here. You have to... With this length train, you'd probably have to get quite close. Well, I suppose you've got a little bit of room still to these junction stuff, but doesn't need ice. Bedford service. Is there anyone in here? No. Nobody wants to get on the trains. Time does this leave? Oh, it goes about now then. Okay. That's not too bad then. Oh, there we go. Talk of the devil. There is a Carder compatible train. Right, so we just got to carry on waiting behind this one. Oh, oh well. Oh well, never mind. Oh dear. Problem solved. I know. Oh, and I got a crash as well. Okay, brilliant. Got an unreal crash. Oh dear. Mods, eh? Don't you just love them? What happened? Oh, it just come up with the signal passed, signal red, whatever, passed or whatever. It did this yesterday, but never mind. Anyway, we'll carry on. I'll just load up the sim again, and then I'm just going to do a 700 from. Trouble is with this timetable mod now, it was originally for TS4, so trouble with some mods that over time they don't become compatible. So it could just be things with this mod now, timetable mod, that aren't compatible anymore. So I don't know, or it could be a mod that I've got installed that's a problem now. There we are. Right. Let's load up the Train Sim World 6 again. And then see what happens. I'm just going to drive a 700 next from East Croydon towards Brighton, I think. That's kind of what I was going to do anyway at some point, was going to get to Clapham and then go Clapham back down. So I'll just do one. I'll just drive a 700 back from East Croydon to Brighton. Then, yeah. It was interesting. I just wanted to see what happened with that freighter, but yeah. Well, we got to see some of it anyway. I was just intrigued about what happened when it got to Gatwick, because when I drove it, I was sitting outside Gatwick and there was all these trains that were stuck behind me. So I wanted to see what happened when when it was just an AI service, really. So I kind of got a little bit of an answer on that. Let's get this one out of the way with. Yeah, Cambridge to Brighton. So it's quite a long one, but I think it's just because it stops at a lot of stations. About 50 minutes. Fingers crossed don't get any more of those red light errors as I'm driving. Right. Here we go. So, oh, it's got the flu.
TPWS and AWS operational.
EPWS and AWS operational. Right. There's the headlights on here. Remember where they are? They're here, aren't they? Only light. There we go. Right. Wait until 10:30. Okay. Actually, we might pass that freight train again going the other way. Might we? Right, anyway, is everyone still here? It may be everyone's gone. Maybe they all thought streams ended. No, you're all here. Okay, that's good. Right, we're going to be going in a minute. Waiting for this light to go green as well. I'm just hoping there's not going to be any services past reds now. Errors. I'm still at Wivelsfield. Right, objective complete. Go via Purley. Okay. Wibblesfield. Oh yeah, Wibblesfield. Good one. Didn't think of that, did we? Wibbling at Wibblesfield. Our next stop is Gatwick, and then we stop at Three Bridges. So it's Gatwick and then all stations to Brighton, basically. River near me is called the Wibble. Yeah, I've been on a 737 that was called the River Ribble. It was a BA 737 because they used to all be named after rivers. 200 series, and that was called River Ribble. Of course, that was when the word Wibble really didn't really mean a lot, did it really? It was just a word. Interesting named river, the Wibble. Yeah, exactly, but yeah, River Ribble, yeah. South Croydon. Should be able to go up to 90 in a second. Right, Max. How are Max? Oh, there's the freight train, but that's not my freight train, that's a different one. That's the one that comes from Brighton Line. Got different wagons on it. It's quite a nice little service, that one, because it's in the original timetable as well. And what you do is you can drive that to Teeth and then you can unshunt it, go to the other end of the train, and then you can take it into the branch line at Ardingly. Then you can take it out later. Or what happens is you go in there, and then I think you can detach from your empty wagons, and then you can detach onto a train that's already got loaded, and then you can take that back towards London again. You know what I haven't got installed? I remember I used to have a mod for this that allowed it, that you could hear like the announcements and stuff. I don't have that installed. Silly me. Bit of a pause. I hate that. Whenever it does that thing, wherever you go over like a marker, it always pauses for a split second just to sort of like load it up or something. I know there's something that you can do in the engine.ini to make that get less or something. Make that so it's more instantaneous. Right, anyway, Gatwick is the first stop, platform 12. You're in there at 10:30, 10:44. One thing I've noticed though is I've always had that error that's come up about red signal failure or whatever when I've been at a standstill. It's never happened while I'm on the move. It's always been when I'm at a standstill it does it. So I'm wondering if it's something weird where if the train's a certain distance from a red light, it thinks you've gone through it. I don't know. But then again, I was quite far away from that red light yesterday when it did it, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'll have to see if I can get hold of that mod again. You know, the mod that allowed you to go through red lights, and see if that stops it from happening. Or maybe that's just a player train that can go through a red light and it doesn't affect other trains. I don't know. I'd like it if this route did get a revamp though. I mean, they need to sort out the passengers for a start, because you know, the fact that the passengers don't really behave very well on here. Oh no, they don't update the routes, Katie, unless this gets a revamp. I mean, this is still using the old lighting as well, because a lot of routes now use different lighting for the skyboxes. And I mean, this was a TSW2 route, but part of the rush hour thing that they did before TSW3 come along. So hence why the Class 700 headlights are very bright on here, because they're for a route that was TOD4. And then you have issues with like headlights and stuff. Well, they were doing 3 routes, weren't they? It was part of the rush hour bundle, was 3 routes. It was a German route, American route, and this route. And I think this, at the point, I think this route still is, or is one of the most, got the most AI services in it. Now, before it had a load, but then when this mod came out, which someone did, they added the 700s, and of course it had even more services running around. But I think this mod originally came out when TSW4 was a thing. Timetable mod. So there's probably things that happen over time, you know, that they change in the game or whatever. But when this timetable's running now, it might... some weird things might happen now. Is there no dodgy windsocks? Oh yeah. I know, that was funny. And then people then worked out how to get around those dodgy windsocks, and then when Microsoft then fixed that issue, all the dodgy windsocks that were fixed were then pointing in the opposite direction again. This is easily one of the best routes. I do like it, Tepic. Of course, I'm running with a modded timetable. It'd be interesting to see what happens if I run the normal timetable again. You get the same issues again. Could be another mod though. I mean, it could be all sorts of things, you know, that's the trouble. You install mods on here and you don't sometimes know what effects different mods have on each other. You know, like the other day I installed a mod that basically put lots of different variants of the lecture stars in. So, that people had made. So it could be something to do with that as well, because this route has a lot of lecture stars in it. So, I mean, it could be lots of things. Mods in it, yeah, exactly. I can get back up to 90 again. It'll work. Yeah. I mean, as we were talking about yesterday, even just changing some lines in the engine.ini can affect how the game works as well. You know, when you've got Rob probably bashing his head against his wall because he's been working on a scenario pack for ages, and he tests it and he's had people try the scenarios out, and then he watches someone stream a scenario and then thinks, well, why is that train doing that when he plays it? He shouldn't be doing that. And then they find out it was just because it was some line that person had put in their engine.ini that made the way the junctions worked in the game change. As much as I like Blackpool lines, it's a bit boring. No tunnels or bridges. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why they did Blackpool lines is because Tom Harrison was doing the route, and I think he's very fond of it because he lives in that area. He was a Blackpool tram driver, and he'd done that freeware route for Trainsim Classic with the Blackpool route, and they thought, well, let's do that first because it's like our first route. And then we can then link it up to everything else, which is what they're doing now, isn't it? You know, they're getting the whole WSCML in that whole area in the 80s, and they're linking routes up together. You know, they're using the route hopping thing, but they're just making it so that at one point you could drive from Birmingham all the way up to Carlisle and beyond if you want to. And then you can just route hop between all the different sections. Wish someone would do Blackpool in the 60s. Yeah, but then problem is you'd probably get Blackpool Central and everything put in, Katie, and then someone would say in a chat, as much as I like the Blackpool lines with the central station, it's a bit boring, no tunnels or bridges, aqueducts speak of. So you'd get your station, but then you'd be like, oh, well, I've got my central station in now, but it's still a bit boring. It's still a bit boring, isn't it? Yeah. I know. But then it did sort of like make you wonder, Carter, didn't it? Because then you think, well, you know, people could install a mod, and then Dovetail might say it might be a mod that's causing something, so they'll remove all their mods and they'd still get the same issue because it's not a mod as such, it's just them adding a line in an engine.ini. And then they could still go in a forum and say, oh, I removed all the mods, but it's still doing it. Trains don't go on the tracks properly. And then they find out one day that it was just because this person had a very good PC and they wanted to run the game differently. And they didn't realise that had an effect. Complete with linked up Southern Line, the old Blackpool North and Fleetwood. If I had time and could face the brain ache, I'd do it for TSE. Yeah. I know at Fleetwood they've got a hotel, haven't they? Isn't it called the London Euston North Hotel or something? And it's when back in the day, before there was like a proper line going up to Scotland, a lot of trains from Euston would go to Fleetwood. And then people could stay in that hotel at Fleetwood and then they'd get a ferry that took them to Scotland. And it was for a few years, it was really popular because obviously there wasn't really a line that had been built yet that went to Scotland. So Fleetwood was like the terminus, people wanting to go from London to Scotland. Something like that anyway. Yeah. But there's still a hotel there today called the London Euston North Hotel or something. Right, anyway, here we are at Gatwick. We're more or less on time. Amazingly. Well, you about a minute late is on time, but if it was in Japan, I'd probably be sacked. But we're not in Japan. The North Euston, that's it. That's the one. The North Euston. Yeah. Still a hotel today. Yeah, it is. I was watching a guy on YouTube. He'd gone to Fleetwood and he was in Fleetwood and he went there. And there's lots of like pictures and stuff in there of the old how it used to be and things. I just couldn't remember the name of it in my head. I knew it was like North, and I knew it had Euston and North in it, but I just couldn't remember how it was. The rest of it like Nodrog. No, it wasn't Nodrog. A guy called By the Curb. He lives. Sometimes travels about around, and then he sometimes goes out with his girlfriend, and they sort of document their nights out and stuff. He lives in a like a mobile van. But then he's also jumping on the bandwagon of like what a lot of other YouTubers do these days, where they do a lot of trips, like how many buses it take to get to places, or I took the train to Benidorm from the UK. How long does it take, and all this sort of stuff. Hmm. So it just happened to be that he was going to Blackpool and he went with his girlfriend, and then they got the tram to Fleetwood, and then they wandered down Fleetwood a bit, and then of course and then he noticed the hotel, and then he started going on about it. And I think he was like learning about it on the go, so he was kind of walking about, and then he must have looked it up on the internet or something while he was walking around filming or whatever, and then he started talking about it. Right, anyway, next stop, Three Bridges. I think Martin Zero. I don't know who that is. I know who Nodrog is, though. I know. I'll probably be doing a lot more live streams one day. Yeah, probably be doing shopping in a charity shop. Who knows? I've already learnt some tips from Tepic already. Basically, if you go to Weatherspoons and buy a coffee, you could literally spend all day in there with refills. Brilliant. Oh, okay. I don't think I'd be able to film in a charity shop anyway. They'd probably kick me out. Don't film us in here. I probably wouldn't do it for very long anyway, because someone would probably nick my phone off me. Right. Anyway, we're coming into Three Bridges. Mugged by the local WI. What, Women's Institute? Is that what you mean? Right, let's do this. The Heritage Group trying to reopen the Fleetwood line, but they even bought an old Class 108 for it, but a bit harder now with the line severed at Poulton. Charity shop choppers are ruthless. Ruthless? Have you told them that they can get a roof? They can get a roofer to give them a roof, and they wouldn't be ruthless anymore. They resell on Vinted. Yeah, I know some people do that, don't they? Right, we're not stopping at Balkham, but which is surprising because I thought with this journey taking quite a while, I thought it meant we had to stop at all the stations. Ruthless reminds me of that 6-year YouTuber that flew her dad's private jet. All right. Oh yeah, I remember the one. Had her sitting on like a baby seat, didn't when she was landing. Yeah, I sometimes see YouTube shorts from people who do stuff like that. Katie, except this is a person that buys a lot of games DVDs, so he goes to a charity shop and gets a load of DVDs that cost about £1 each. Then he can take them to CEX, and some of them are worth more than others. He makes some money on them. Starting to rain a little bit now. Yeah. Or either that Told her that she weren't allowed to do videos. Maybe it's something that she can do, but not be seen. If you know what I mean. I don't know. You'd have to probably find out about it on Google. I know it was mentioned before about things about that. Yeah. You know, like for example, we went into one charity shop and they were like getting rid of some DVDs and Blu-ray box sets and things, and he bought some, and then one box set was worth like 40 quid in CEX, so he managed to like sell it for like 20 odd quid. So I don't know, but I suppose a lot of people seem to be doing that now, which is maybe also one of the reasons. I don't know if it is why sometimes charity shops are putting prices up of things, because they know there's a lot of people that are just getting things to resell. But then they can get a bit of money out of it at the same time. You know, with clothes and stuff, I mean. Looks like they made a step down to a Bonanza. Oh, I don't know. No idea. Well, she's not going to be 4 years old or 6 years old for much longer, is she? I mean, probably about 8 or 9 now. Can't be 6 forever. Before you know it, Katie, she'll be a teenager. And that'll be boring, having a teenager flying a plane. Oh, a bit boring. Not as exciting anymore seeing a 6-year-old flying a plane, is it? Right, I'm going to go through Balcombe soon. There you go. All that pause just to tell me about an objective that's been passed. Did I tell you that you have met a chap who owns a 20 PA-28 Warrior who wants to take you flying? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Warriors are alright. I used to sometimes fly in one myself. Well, not me personally, although I did fly in it a couple of times. But a friend of mine used to, well, he still has got his pilot's license, private pilot's license. Sometimes when he wanted to get his hours up, we used to rent the plane for about an hour or two. Goodwood, and Goodwood Flying Club. Sometimes it would be a Tomahawk, other times a Warrior. And then we'd just go for a potter around towards Shoreham or the Isle of Wight or whatever. It was just so he could keep his hours up on his licence, really. And even back then it was quite expensive just to hire it for an hour. It was like over 100 quid, so we used to split it half each. It was alright though. Going back a while though. But God knows how much it is now. I mean, trying to think how, when it was, I think it was like the early 2000s, I think, we were doing this. So, yeah, prices are probably a bit more these days. Right, we're coming up to Hayward Heath soon. I might as well turn this wiper off. It seems to stop raining again. Well, it's very light rain anyway. Okay, you can still see it on the windscreen a little bit. Amazingly, I'm nearly 2 minutes early. I'll have to have a little bit of digging on the Dovetail forums. If anybody else does a lot more posts about people talking about where they get like these signal failure errors coming up. But I think it's just an old timetable with mods, something. It's raining a little bit harder here now. A lot colder down here as well. It's 7.6 degrees at Hayward Heath, and it was 8 degrees in Croydon, 8.5 I think. Wait till 10:59 before I can open the doors. Thinking about getting a Mooney. A Mooney. Eek. Right. Moonies are weird. We've got them tails that look like they're backwards, don't they? Oh, we got dogs here. Dogs barking. The Moonies. I was thinking of Mrs. Mooney from Grange Hill. Does anyone remember Mrs. Mooney from Grange Hill? Quite slim, wear glasses, long hair. Used to talk a bit like Betty from from Frank Spencer's missus. My mate probably does. He still watches it. I remember one of the really old versions of Flight Sim used to have a Mooney as a default plane. I think it might have been Flight Sim 2004. Maybe had a Mooney in it. The default plane. Right. Anyway. Default, yeah. Right, Wivelsfield. We're not stopping at, but I'm wondering if we're going to stop at Burgess Hill. Are we stopping at Burgess Hill? Yes, we are. Right, Burgess Hill, next stop. We're going to go back where we started from in a minute. Although we're a little bit earlier because we're now going to go past Wivelsfield at 11:01, whereas we were there at 12 o'clock, funnily enough, waiting for a freight train. Wibblers in a field. Yeah, Wibblesfield. Or Swivelsfield, it's a field that swivels around. There's a veg patch nearby, yeah. An AP one. And this wiper off again. Yeah, I love the word only on things. Only. But they're all still waiting there. Look, the same people still. Oh no, they're actually walking around. Oh, not so. It's not so busy over that side. It's 8.7 degrees here. In temperature change between here and Haywards Heath. Came in a bit too. Braking was a bit pants there. All aboard. Oh, they're getting on. Wow. Blimey. Blimey, there was people getting on the train. Unbelievable. And look, I'm early. Look. Right, next stop will probably be Hassocks. Right. GTG hired new packs. They haven't heard about you yet. Yeah. Yeah, there was some people sitting in there. Amazing. Time was I due here? 11:09. Gotta leave. I'm early.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. A little bit, I suppose. Oh, 142, like a pacer. Actually, I've actually got a top that looks a bit like that, actually. Same sort of colour. Almost like I knew I was going to be driving Thameslink today. Right, lock the doors. ESD going off. Should have had it in neutral. Right, anyway. Preston Park. Next stop. Preston in the park. Brighton Tunnel. Well, we haven't been kicked out yet. A bit sunnier here, isn't it? Right, Preston Park. Yeah, it's 8.4 degrees here. Beach walk today? I don't know, Egbert, to be honest. Right. Yeah, it was a little bit early, which is nice. Oh, everyone's got off now. I don't think there'll be nobody on the train when we get to Brighton, will there?
Safety and comfort. This station operates a no smoking
No.
policy.
Oh no, there are a couple. There are a couple. View victims. Oh yes. Right, let's go. Down to Brighton. Brighton early. Platform 5. The line towards Hove and all that. We can go straight into the platforms today. Gonna have to wait for another train to come out. Welcome to Brighton, everyone. This service terminates here. Change. Please make sure you take all of your belongings with you when you're leaving this service. Thank you for travelling with Thameslink today. With me also. Putting up on my streams once more. Yep. Have a good rest of your day. Fish and chips? Nope. Oh well, never mind. Right, anyway. On that bombshell. Ah, so much for sat points, huh? Well, anyway, never mind. Just a scratch. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you again another time. So be good. Take care for now. Bye.